I briefly mentioned the war, but how do you think things play out with Russia and then with China?
I don't know how things are going to end. I think that things are not going to go as badly for Russia as everybody seems to think. So, I think, again, we're driving Russia closer to China, closer to India. There's an old saying about the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, we're creating all these friendships that could come both, back and bite us in the end, especially if it hastens the demise of the dollar as the world's reserve currency. Now, China, I believe we've sufficiently alienated China. I mean, China has been our biggest banker, our biggest supplier of goods, and we've completely vilified them, rightly or wrongly. But I think the rhetoric obviously doesn't sit well in Beijing, and especially the recent trip to Taiwan. I mean, look, I want to support Taiwan. I wish the United States wasn't in such a vulnerable position that we couldn't afford to do it, but we are. The situation is what it is. And we're deliberately poking a hornet's nest. I mean, we knew Nancy Pelosi goes to Taiwan. For what reason? What did she accomplish except angering Beijing? That's what she did. And, so we are pushing and pushing China to do something that they should have done anyway. I think that it was a mistake for China to peg the yuan to the dollar. I think they've screwed up their economy as a result of this. But despite that screw up, I think fundamentally the Chinese economy is in much better shape than the US economy. And I think China is poised to be the dominant economy in the world for the, most of the 21st century. In fact, I think this decade will end with the China being the number one economy. I think the China's GDP in 2030 will be higher than US GDP. And It will, be the number one economy in the world. And it will probably maintain that position, for most, if not all, of the century.
And the digital yuan will then take over the world as well? It
could, especially if it's backed by gold. I mean, that would really help it, to give it some real value.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.